Now you remember my Monstera plant that I rooted. We've got 3 unfurled leaves now, and she is ready to be planted. So I'm going to try to pry her out of this dish, and I've chosen this big, it's the clay, terracotta clay pot. Real heavy, so I think it would give her a nice stable foundation. But I think that's going to work well for her. And we've got this to cover the hole in the bottom. And I've got my soil ready. So let's get her in there. And get the pot, let me see. Think about that full might work out. We'll see how that looks. Now, let's see if we can get her out of here. I don't have to worry about tipping the bottle like I did back in the movie. Now look at those roots. You can see how well everything is formed. They all grew out from the aerial roots and from around the little collar, the leaf node. They've all grown out. So what I'm going to do is try to place them down in here and kind of get them so we'll have a nice foundation, and I'll fill the soil up to just about here. So this leaf node can also send roots down. So here we go. Let me just kind of sprinkle it around and let it sift down through, because we want all the soil around those roots and not to compress and break those roots. And this one, see, that is going to stay up. Let me give it another slight press, and then I'm going to bounce. There we go. Now, let me add a little bit more, because I'm going to try and with this soil encourage the growth from that final leaf node right there. Now, I guess this would be the time I would add a support, but I'm going to see how this goes right now without any support. But before I would set it in its final spot, I may put one of those bamboo support sticks down in it. But this looks like it's off to a wonderful start. Now I'm going to use the water that it rooted in. You can still see how nice it was. And I'm going to water it with that. But let me put a little dish underneath it. There. Now, there we go. Since that soil was so dry, I want to hydrate it pretty well. Might take a little bit of time for it to soak through since it was so dry. But I think that's going to look really, really good. And until it gets to go outside, or until I decide what I'm going to do with it, I'm just going to leave it down here in the basement garden shop. But that looks good for that planting, don't you think?
I like it.
Oh yeah, it's starting to run through. Now, do I have the other one upstairs?
It looks really good.
And now let's take a look at it about 6 weeks later. It's been outside and the leaves are doing real well, and it's even developed a new leaf. I think you can see it there under that lower leaf. a new one is shooting out there to the side. So this rooting and transplanting has been real successful. I think this plant's going to do real well. Now I will have to bring it back inside in September. Here in Ohio, the plants like this will not last out all year. But I'm looking forward to have another Monstera, and maybe I can keep this one a little more full and lush. But thanks for joining me today, and be sure and stick around and watch some more videos.